Yo, what up? Can you guys hear this? Make sure my audio is working. Yo, what up? Yeah, cool. All right. So, I got a new setup. I got some weird junk that I got going on with my stream. So, I've got some cameras set up in my lab, which I didn't have before, and I'm gonna do some soldering. Oh, the music is fire? Okay, I'm sorry. Yeah, I kind of wanted to turn on some music while I was doing some stuff, but let's see. I could probably turn it back on for you guys. But yeah, I was just gonna do a little bit of soldering today. I haven't streamed in a bit because I've been busy with some like life shit and house stuff, which is kind of annoying, but I have like a whole bunch of projects that are stacking up that I want to work on. So, um, first off, I need to desolder something from uh my 3D printer. I need to get that going. So, let me just desolder this real quick. Sorry, you won't be able to see this. It's kind of off to the left of the cameras. Actually, no, I'm just gonna clip it. Just gonna snip these leads. So that's kind of a pain in the ass. I can just solder them back on later. I had a little regulator for my 3D printer lose a little resistor. I should probably just replace it with like a whole new one. But whatever. This crap. Actually, I got a bunch of stuff all over the bench. Need to clean this up. Let's see. I'll put these away too. I don't need these. I'll do that in a minute. I'm gonna solder some leads onto that pot. This old filament. Actually, I might need that. Okay. Let me get a vacuum real quick. I almost sucked up my resistor. That would have been stupid. Okay, I have more of these, I believe. I should probably just solder a new one onto the printer. But I do want to fix this one, so I'll probably do that later. Solder the replacement onto the thing, so whatever. I'll find a replacement one that I have. Alright, so we got this thing. Needs its resistor. Not right there. Yeah, right there. Okie dokie. Then I need to adjust it because it was not blowing the fan on the printer on the hot end well enough. Let's see. Where did my mouse go? So I could swap it back and forth between like a side camera for you guys or a vertical camera, but I don't know which one's better yet. So I'm just gonna leave it on the vertical. So, set that aside. I've got my soldering iron. And let's get the fume extractor going. Gonna pre-tin this. Kind of clean it up a little bit. Clean these pads up. Hopefully the fume extractor isn't too loud. See, I'm really putting my noise cancellation to work, right? And I'm just gonna flux it. I forgot to use some flux. Oh, stick a little bit on there. I wonder if that pad is intact. Kind of looks like it's intact. It's holding solder, so that's cool, I guess. And if I need to tin this resistor, very tiny resistor. You guys can see that. It's not the tiniest though. Let's see. Put that down like that. I don't actually need those tweezers. Oh, yeah, that's gonna fall off. I mean, that's very poorly done, but whatever. It's on there. Let's get the other side. Guess the other side with a little bit of solder. It's crooked, but it's on there. Oh, my voice gets distorted. Oh, yeah. That's probably because it's working overtime. Alright, so we will continuity test this. I don't even know if that's going to work. Oh, okay. So, resistance? Okay. I mean, it looks good. I gotta clean up these backside parts or through holes. So, I need that. Oh, this flux is so gross. It's so sticky. It works really well though. Alright, flux this one. You don't really need to. Solder's melting pretty well. Except for that. Jeez. Alright. We didn't really need that clean, but whatever. I unplug that. This should be good. Yeah, a little crooked, but I don't think it's making contact with that other resistor. Oh, that's fine. Alright. Let me turn that off. Wowee! Alright. Yeah, so we've got this going on now. Whoop, 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 whoop. I don't know if that is actually any better. Probably not. Whatever. Cameras. Alright, so need to clean that off, but we can test it. Yeah, let's test it real quick. So, it should, we've got an in and an out. And actually, I want to go clean it up real quick. Give me 1 minute. I'm going to go clean this off, get all the flux off of it. There we go. All right, just a little bit of ISO. Say a little bit. 2 shots of ISO. Just scrub this off really quick. And hopefully not pull off that part that I just had on there. Or that I just put on there. Or anything else. And then we'll just test and see if it works. So if it don't work, I ain't putting it on my my printer. Alright, that should be good. Alright. Paper towels. Papers towels. Much cleaner. Now it's not all sticky. Well, still a little sticky. That could just be my fingers. What I don't like about this flux is it's super duper sticky. But it works really well, so whatever. Right, so that is good and cleaned. We can go up here. All right. Okay. And this thing, we need to put some leads on it and test it. Is that good? I think that's good. It looks like crap, but whatever. Probably just do. Let's see. Yeah, that's probably good enough. Let's go ahead and turn on the power supply. And let's see. We're going to step this down from 12 volts. Let's just start with 5. Actually, it wants 12. Let's start with 12. And we'll plug that up and hopefully it doesn't pop on me. Alright, that's in negative. And here is in positive. Let's see if it explodes. Oh. I hate these. These damn sleeves are so slick. Okay. so now we can measure it. All right, let's see. Positive over here, negative over here. 9 volts, 9.8 volts. So I think that's working right. Let me get a tweaker and we can trim this pot. Oops. I thought I had one just sitting over here. There we go. That should work. Let's see if this works. Oh, yeah, okay. All right, I'll tweak this down. I think... I can't remember what I had it set to. What is this fan? I have a fan on my printer. I need to figure out what the voltage on that was. I cannot remember. That's probably helpful if I can remember what that's supposed to be, right? It was a Noctua. Let me see. I think it was a 12-volt fan. I could have been wrong. Because I think I got... Originally, it wasn't a 12-volt fan. I had to drop down the 12 volts from the printer to like the 5 volts for this fan or some crap like that. Yeah, I'll be right back. Let me go. I'm gonna go check and see what that fan is. Ah, it is a 12-volt fan, so I actually don't need to step this down. I could just, I kind of want to just wire it straight up to the printer without the voltage regulator in the way. Because if I have the voltage regulator in the way, then it's going to step down the fan voltage, which I do not want. Yeah, I'll have to deal with that at a different time. But that's fixed. Okay. I got that fixed. Let's see, what else was I gonna do? I wanted to finish wiring some pots. I needed to solder some pots up. Well, now that we know this is working fine, I'm gonna go ahead and turn that off. Unplug this. And I will throw it in here for later. Alright. And we can put this back, because I don't want that hanging around. Alright. My bench is a mess. Okay, so these are the pots that I wanted to wire up. I think I need to figure out I'll just wire up a couple different pots and test them out. Also got some more toggle switches that I need to wire up. Got another toggle switch, and where are those pots? Did I have them in here? That bad boy. It's a multi-selector though. I don't know if I want 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 poles. I think I need a different one of those. And then let's see. Those things, I kind of wanted to mess with those. These are kind of cool too. Let's see. Alright, some pots. I don't know which one I need. I'll just do the, what is this? That's a 50K and that's a 2K. There's another 2K. I think the 2Ks are probably fine. I need to test these with 3 volts and see what the range is on them. I could just do the math, but that's not what I do. So, and I think, let's try this. Let me see if I can rotate you guys. Oh. There we go. Okay. So now I can turn this on. Get this out of the way for now since we don't need it. Wait a minute, is this the 12 volt fan? Is this the 12 volt fan that I bought and that I was supposed to swap this one out with? Or did I get 2 of them? Oh, who knows? I don't know. Okay, so I want 2. This is a 2K resistor. I'm gonna get the power supply running. Forget what it is for wiring up. So I think it's positive or negative, and then the center is the output, I believe. If anything, we'll just blow it up. Oh, that's, I'm gonna turn this on first and get it down to 3 volts. So one thing I don't like about this benchtop power supply is you can't like turn it off or tune it and then just like turn on the output. You have to like turn off the whole damn thing. Okay, so we've got that. And then let's go ahead and get this onto here. And then we will clip this onto here. And hopefully you guys can see that. Let's go ahead and I want to zoom in. What's our scale? 10 volts. 1 volt. Okay, so that's the 3 volts. I mean, I think that gives plenty of range, right? Okay, yeah, I think that should be fine. I'll use a, at least until proven otherwise, I'll use a 2K resistor. What I'm doing is I'm setting up a gamepad. with GP2040 CE, which is a pretty cool piece of kit, some software. So all my garbage in the way. So I'm gonna put these off to the side for now. It's out of here. It gets everywhere. Okay, so a 2K resistor is pretty good. Let's go ahead and I need to. How am I gonna wire these? Where's my wiring diagram? So I've got to take some voltage from the 3.3 volts off of this microcontroller. This microcontroller right here, that's a little Raspberry Pi 2040 0 by Waveshare. These are pretty fun. They're super inexpensive, and they're very tiny. They got a really tiny footprint, but that kind of like keeps some of the GPIO pins away from you, which is kind of annoying, but for my purpose, they work well. So I think I need to make a header on this board so that I can run the 3 volts to a couple pots, because I have 4 pots in total. So I'm going to need a header on this thing. Okay. Let's do that. I'll unplug all this shit. These are all just common grounds. So they shouldn't be an issue. Go unplug them. And that's going to need another header. I guess we could just do it. We'll just use it right here because it's already got, this is basically a breadboard. So let's go ahead and, let me grab another header. Actually, this one might be better. Get a little bus terminal going. Little bus. How many do I need? I need at least 4, or at least 5. I need 1 positive, 1 negative for each pot, and then I need an output lead from each pot. But I also need the input for this rail, for the positive and negative rail. I'll just do the whole thing, because I can take them off later or something. It's really not that big of a deal to have too many. Okay, so go ahead and cut this right here. Wow! Safety squints. Okay. That seems intact. Good enough. And we can bring my hands back. Because we're going to need you over here. Get our fume extractor in position. And then, let's see. Oh, I forgot to move that back, whatever. That is that. Actually, I want to do this over here. I have better luck doing it on these. Wow. Cool SIM card. There we go. And then We'll have this holding in place. Maybe this one. Just making sure it looks flat and level. It looks good enough. It's good enough. This is a prototype. I'm not trying to be super precise. Alright, so get my soldering iron again. Now this dude got wires all over the place. Okay. Get that going. And here we go. Turn this on. It helps if I turn the soldering iron on. Got the wrong pin there. Oh well. I'm gonna get a bunch of solder down and then I'll go back over it and just kiss them up and make sure they're not cold soldered. I got all the solder on there. I'm gonna go over it again and just touch them. Make sure they're not bad solder joints. Let them flow again evenly, like that. Yeah, that one could use a little bit more solder. Yeah, it's okay. All right. Okay. Yes, that's the drawback of being a little messy with your soldering. You'll have to go back over it and get all the through holes that you filled up. Oh well. It's fine. Alright, and unplug that. And that should be good. It came out a little bit. I didn't have it all the way down, but whatever. Good enough. Alright, get that out of the way. And then we'll bring back in my tub. Bring back the tub! Alright, so that looks pretty good. I don't know. It's not the worst. Not sure if you guys can see this. Pop, pop, pop. Yeah, so it's not the worst. But whatever. Alright, so go ahead and clean this up as well. And dry it off. Cool, looks good enough for me. I don't see any cold joints. I mean, I don't know. They all look good. They look like it all flowed between the pin and the pad for the through hole, so should be good. I mean, if it's not, we'll find out. And we will resolder it. Oh, this flex off my fingers. Flex off the fingies. I'll put this back up here. Alright, so now we should have a positive and a negative, which we can get from the ground and the 3.3 volt line off of the microcontroller. Yeah, so this dude, kind of like this. Just take the 3 volts off of that and run it over to here for this thing, like this, and that'll give us the, I guess I could have just used that as a ground. Or whatever. So let's go ahead and solder up these pots. Here's the other 2K. Oh, I think I'm just gonna have to do 2 for now. No, sample platter does not have more, which is fine. That is fine. Doo -doo -doo -doo. And where are my crimpers? There they are. Dokie. And guess I don't need this pot trimmer anymore. Put you back. You know, I probably could have trimmed 2 more for this dude. Let's do that while we're here. Okie dokie. Got those. Let's see. Boo, 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 boo. Okay, so I can take these. I just need to strip the ends on all of these. So these are not the greatest wire strippers or automatic wire strippers, but they do the trick. Sometimes they mangle the cable like that, but whatever. almost done. Okay, I think that should be good. And then we need the crimpers and connectors. So we'll want, we can do a double connection, like do a 2. I think that might be good. We'll try it. We'll try it. If it doesn't work, then we'll go to the singles, or the single DuPonts. But whatever. We'll try that and see what that gives us. If that doesn't work well or doesn't fit right, then we can just change it up. We need, let's see, 6? Yeah. I don't want to damage my flush cuts trimming these things. They're probably fine to trim with flush cuts, but whatever. These Knipex have a nice slice and blade on them. Okay, so these DuPont connectors are kind of annoying, but I got a better crimper, which is better. So I have less issues with it. I'm gonna take the short end and use that in the DuPont crimp. The long end I'm gonna solder to these, and then heat shrink tube them. So let's go ahead and wonder if I can get you guys a good view of this. Let's see. Yeah, so these have like a I guess that's the furthest I can zoom in. Okay. Put on autofocus. There we go. Yeah, so these have like little notches in them. So there's like 2 sections. There's this section right here, which is a little flat one, and this one, which is like a little pointy triangular piece. This piece goes around the shielding of the cable, and this goes around the middle of the cable, or the actual conductor. So having a short end versus a long end is better, in my opinion. At least what I've experienced. So I'll stick that in there, like so. Like so. And then I will take my crimper and I'll just put this in there, kind of crimp down on it until it's done. And sometimes it gets stuck in there. I gotta wiggle it. I believe that should be good. So you can see it crimped over the conductor and then wrapped around the shielding or the sheathing of it, the insulator. So that should be good. And then we rinse and repeat. You can keep the conductor a little bit longer, but then you run into a problem where, like this one, you might be able to see the conductor extends a little bit further into the actual pin portion, which isn't the worst thing, but it can kind of cause issues with putting it on your actual pin headers. So we do this, slide it in there, and then just crimp it down. And then free it from the jaws of the crimp. Okay, cool. And then rinse, repeat. So should be pretty straightforward. If you guys have never done like DuPont connections before, This is kind of the best method I've gotten. It also, I think it really, really depends on your crimper. This one's maybe doing all right. With other crimpers, they'll like bite into the shielding. This is kind of doing that. I think I'm using the wrong gauge for this connector, but it's no biggie. Like I said, this is let's see, what gauge is this one again? I think it's 26 or something. 26 gauge. Yeah, let me try one size down and see what that does. See if it comes out better. No, that one actually bit into it a little bit more, so it's whatever. It's not the end of the world. So do this, line it up. So your shielding is on the right, conductor's on the left. Stick it in your crimper and crimp it down. Like that. Come on. There we go. All right, and you can also use the little metal tab. You can use the little metal tab as a guide, so you can bump it up to the actual crimper if you hold it right. So if you hold it like this, you can use the metal tab as a guide, kind of bump it up to the edge of the crimper, and that'll kind of tell you if you've gone too far. So you can see it's like just the metal tab is sticking out. Maybe you can see that, I don't know, but that's how I've been doing it. Sometimes it'll squeeze a little bit too hard and bend the actual connector, but I haven't really seen that to be too much of an issue. So those are all done, I believe. Cool. Cool. All right, and then we can also come through here, take these off, these little tabs. Oops. Oh, this one came with a button. You can just use your fingers. They're not super hard to bend back and forth, but they're a little sharp, so I don't want to cut myself. All right, oops, that one's right there. Cool. So now these are all, they all have their connectors on them. And they're all roughly the same size or same length. Okay, and then I wanted to take a positive and negative and use that on a double. So let's see how well this works. Stick that in there, it should click. Like that. Now I have a 2-pin header. Okay, and then I can solder this to our other end. Oops, I already screwed that up. Let's see, so I will use the blue lead as the arrow. Where are my tweezers? Oh, they're right there. I'm so blind. I will use the blue lead on the arrow and the purple lead as not on the arrow. To undo these, you just kind of have to lift up this little plastic clip and then pull the cable out while it's lifted. There you go, like that. You can kind of push it back down and reuse it if you want. Okay, so blue, on these connectors, they have like a little arrow. On the left-hand side, there's an arrow. On that side, just to keep it consistent, because this will be a positive and a negative connection, or at least a positive and a ground. Oops. And then we'll take this one, and you go in there. All right, cool. So this should be good for our 2 potentiometers. And then this dude's going to be over here for this guy. Let's go ahead and put these on. All right. Now we're just going to use some regular old automotive crimps for that one. So kind of similar to what we've done here. Do some automotive crimps for that. Definitely not the right gauge wire, but it works. So the automotive crimps want thicker gauge wire, but I don't really care. Like I said, this is just a prototype. All right. I guess I can solder those, but I kind of want to heat shrink tube them real quick. So let's do, I should have enough for all of this. 3, where's my 4th one? There it is, my 4th piece. Okay. Gonna put the heat shrink tubing on first. Never forget, kids. You always put the heat shrink tubing on the cable first before you do any soldering. Otherwise you forget it and it doesn't work. And you gotta desolder everything. Okay, so we got our 2 heat shrinks on there. Got our 2 heat shrinks on here. And I guess we need to come up with a, I'm just going to cut a DuPont connector because I don't have different colored wire and I want to differentiate it. So I've got, no, I need a different one than that. Wowee, what a mess. Okay. Alright, let's take these orange ones. We'll do that. Take these orange ones. These are all just spare DuPont connectors, like breadboard wires. It's actually a really easy and inexpensive way to get connectors, like connected wires. So like if you're working on a project like a low voltage project and you don't want to do what I just did where you're like crimping 8 dozen connectors together, you can just buy a box of like pre-crimped connectors and then just chop them up and use them. So that's what we're gonna do. I only want this end, so I'm gonna chop this end off. I guess technically I could just pull it out, but whatever. I'm gonna go ahead and chop it off. Like so. I know it seems wrong. It seems wrong to just cut the cables that you just bought, or that you bought that were pre-crimped, but it's easy. It does a lot of damage. So then I'll just strip these like that. Probably a little bit longer because we're soldering this to a lead. And there we go. Oh, that one actually just ate the damn thing. There we go. This is the hard part with these damn wire strippers. Wow. Dirty. Okay. That's fine. And we can solder these to our middle leads right there. We're going to want some more heat shrink tubing. Is that the same size? I don't think so. No. It is not the same size. There we go. This one. That's the one that I used. Yep. All right. And I'm going to cut this up. Where are my skizzers? Super precise. Precision work. Let's see how well I did. Oh, that's not bad. Off by like, less than a millimeter. All right, so now we have 4 of those. I just need 2. Might even be too large. I hope not. Look at it. It's going to slip right over that. All right. So now we can start soldering these. I think all of our cables are ready to go. Let's go ahead and start some soldering. So let's get this. Oh, let's get our hands back over here. And get some soldering going. All right, so that is going to be, I guess it doesn't really matter, because it's just a damn resistor. So let's go blue on the left, pink on the right, or purple on the right. I think that's fine. So I want to start by pre-tinning the wires, or the leads at least, maybe the wires. And it's going to be a pain. We'll just a little bit of flux. That's what it's for. look to be on there. And let's go ahead and get our third lead. That looks to be on there as well. All right. That's one down. Your second one mounted up. And let's go ahead and solder. Oh, you're gonna pretend. No, I didn't want all of that anyway. I want some more solder on this one. There we go. You know, it's perfect with this one. Just kiss it and go. I don't know why I'm being so perfect with it. Alright. That's fine. It's connected. Okay, whatever. Stop trying to be perfect. Okay, so I'm going to put some more. I always like to finish off my soldering iron by coating it with some more solder. Just to like let it sit there. That way the tip doesn't oxidize and get all nasty on me. Anytime I unplug it and turn it off, I leave a nice glob of solder on the tip. Alright, so we can turn that off. Alright, so that looks pretty good to me. Yeah. Alright. Get this out of here. Again. And then we want to clean up and finish up these heat shrink tubes. So I'm just going to slide these all the way down to their respective homes. And then we're going to heat them up. And hopefully they're not too big. They might be a little too big. Oh well. Are you connected or what? You're super floppy. It feels connected, right? Right? Yeah. Okay, so those should be heat shrunk. Good enough. Where is my other one? Right here. Probably be better if I had my heat gun up here, but I moved it, so it is no longer up here in the lab. It is in the garage. Okay, but that should be good enough. So now we've got those heat shrink, and we can test them out or wire them up. Okay, so I'm gonna set those aside, and then I need to get these automotive crimps. I believe I used 2 of these dudes. Let's see. Yes. Okay. Cool. All right, and let's go ahead and crimp these. These are a little weirder. Mostly because I don't have the right gauge wire. I'm supposed to use the right gauge wire, but whatever. Just gonna squeeze these suckers down. And I want to catch the shielding of this so it doesn't, so it gives it some sort of strain relief. But that should be good. And I'll test the continuity of this. You can see the conductors kind of coming out of it a little bit. These are not the right, right size connectors, but I really don't care. Should be fine. I'm also not using the right kind of crimper, I do not believe, but they're automotive crimpers. So they're automotive crimps. So does it really matter? In the real world, you have like good old boys cranking down on these things, so they're going to work anyway. What's up, another rabbit? How are you? So now that I've got those, how did I have this one? I had pink up top, or purple up top, and blue on the bottom. Just kind of keep some sort of consistency, right? Now we'll test the continuity of these in a minute. Screw them on first. That way when they don't work, I have to undo them. So, nope. Bruh. There we go. All right, so They're working on a system for some buttons so their signal doesn't jump. That's interesting. I'm working on something pretty simple. It's a little gamepad race input thing for my dad. Kind of finishing it up. I figured out the software stuff, and now I'm just finishing up the wiring. And I have to put some holes in a panel, and then it should be good. Just some busy work, really. Something chill. Yep. So we'll test the continuity of these, and they shouldn't go off because I don't have a switch toggle. So let's toggle the switch and test continuity, and it should go off. Yep, there we go. Cool. Good enough for me. Ultimately, I would like to get this whole kind of setup that I have going with the Raspberry Pi 2040. I want this, the whole Raspberry Pi 2040 out on its own PCB, sort of like this, where everything can kind of just connect to that instead of the janky way that I'm doing it now, which is fine, but it's just all over the place. There's lots of wires. So I'd like to have this as a stamp kind of put onto its own PCB. Either the 2040 or just a straight up Raspberry Pi 2040. And just wired up. So I've got some schematics that I'm working on for that, but in the meantime, for the first prototype, I'm just gonna sort of breadboard it. So that should be good. This will be our power. I need a lead from the Raspberry Pi. No, I don't want those. Oh, that works. Okay. Got a black, got a white, and maybe get one more. I don't know. Okay, so that's the ground. Okay, we'll just use this one as the jumper. So we go. Okay. So let's go ahead and rewire this sucker and get it wired up again with the new buttons. Actually, I want to take this off. And this is kind of just a ghetto prototype cardboard base. I have a metal project box that I want to cut this out onto. So I'm not sure how I'm gonna do that, but I have a schematic, little layout for it, sort of. But I want to adjust this a little bit, or I already have adjusted this a little bit, so it can, so everything's a little bit spaced out a little bit better, but kind of where it's at. For making your PCB schematics, so actually having them printed, like having your circuit boards printed for you, I'm not too sure. But I've been using KiCad, KiCad, for actually designing the schematics, and I've been enjoying it so far. It's just I'm an idiot when it comes to electrical engineering, so it takes me a while to actually get something that I'm comfortable with. So I haven't actually like gotten a schematic sent out to anybody to print yet. I'm a little nervous about doing that. So that should be good roughly there. Tighten this down a little bit more. Just for testing purposes. All right. It's crooked, but I don't care. And it bends, but I don't care. Okay, so I wanted to... I guess if these are all grounds, then I don't really need to have these anymore. Unless I need more for that. I need eight ground connections, 8 common grounds for these 4 buttons, or for these 8 buttons. And then 2 more common grounds for these toggle switches. That's 10 total common grounds. And then 11 and 12 for this one because it's got an LED. So 12 common grounds. How many pins is this? That's 11. Right? 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah. So that's 11. So we're 1 short. So I'm still going to need this, which is fine. So let me do this. And wire it up like this. Yeah, pretty much. So from what I understand, like PCBWay and JLPCB, all these other companies that will like print PCBs for you, they've also got engineers on staff that'll kind of double check some of the stuff for you, and tell you if they see anything that looks odd. So I've heard. So maybe you can, if you send it out to like to fab to get it fabricated for you, maybe you can ask them if they see any like glaringly obvious issues. But the best thing that I would recommend is to breadboard it first. Get something like this, a breadboard where you can just kind of plug stuff in and test it out. And so you design your schematic on something like KiCad, and then you go and you put it on a breadboard, or you can do it either way. You can go breadboard first and then schematic it in KiCad. That's kind of how I do it when I'm a little bit more hands-on with it, or when I want to be a little bit more hands-on with it. But in general, yeah, you breadboard it, schematic, and then you can send it off to fab, and then hopefully they should oh, you've got it all on perf boards. Awesome. Nice. So you should be, at that point, if you've got it on perf boards, you should have a pretty good solid idea of like any problems that might arise, because you've probably debugged it already. They're like, oh, this wire needs to go here instead of there. So if you're at that point, then I would just I'd send it to a fab maybe and see what they say. Because I think the tricky part with sending it to a fab is making sure that the schematics are all accurate so that they know what to do with it. Because if the schematics aren't, oh, that heat shrink did not work. If the schematics aren't accurate, or it's missing like symbols and stuff that they need to determine like, hey, what is this part? Then yeah, they might not like that. I need to get the thingamabobbers for that. I know, highly technical term. Thingamabobbers. I need these. Just so my pots aren't falling all over the place while I'm testing. I'm just going to need 2 of these for now. And get 2 of the washers. There we go. Yeah, it's a Raspberry Pi 2040. This little dude right here. This guy right here. It's a this one's the board made by Waveshare. It's a RP2040. I don't know if you can see that super well, but this is it. I like them because they're low cost. They're pretty simple microcontrollers. You can run Python on them if you want to. So I mean they're pretty versatile as far as like testing and stuff. And they're super cheap. But it's not an Arduino in the sense that you use the Arduino IDE to set it up and everything. So you'll have to like maybe learn a little bit different coding and libraries for it. It doesn't have to be Python though. Python runs a little bit slow on these things, but it's fun for like a testing thing if you're not worried about like performance. Oh, did it? Oh, would not surprise me. All right, one sec. Oh, it's hot in the lab. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I got them done a while ago. They're all torn up now, but that's usually what happens. So, I think that is the camera working? I don't know. Yeah, I think it is. Should be good. It may have paused for a little bit. I have a really janky setup where the cameras in my lab, these cameras, are being networked to my workstation that's in another room where I have OBS running again. So it's going through one OBS to another OBS. It's a very weird setup. And I don't know why I'm doing it like this, but whatever. So let's go ahead and I'll wire these up again. So most of these are all the common grounds that I have unplugged at the moment, except for these. Let's see, these purple ones. That purple one's plugged in. Purple ones. Okay, so we'll plug this into here. That is pin 11. And then these are the common grounds for the light, the LED on that switch. And that. So all of these need to be plugged into ground. And then this doohickey, this orange one from this pot, is going to come up here and plug into, I think, let's see, I have it right here. What are my analog pins? So my analog pin on this dude is GP 29, 28, 27, and 26. 29, 28, 27, and 26. So I'm going to take this orange output pin from my pot and I'm going to plug that into 29. Let's make sure I get it right so I don't fry it with the 3 volts running through it backwards. I don't even know if that would fry it, but whatever. And then this is going to go to the headers that I just soldered over here. So that should give me analog output from this pot. And then that should be good for testing. Okay, so let's go ahead and plug all of these in. I need a wire coming from 2-pin header coming from this boy over here, from the 3 volt and the ground. So let me get a 2-pin header for that. My various lengths of wire box. They're all chopped up. I was telling you guys you could chop these up, but now I'm like lamenting that they're all chopped up. Oh, oh, those are all chopped up too. Oh, is this the one that I want? No, it's got pins on the other end. Okay, whatever. I'll just get some more. Okay, whatever. Well, that one will work, that brown one. Do I have another one of those? This red one? Will you work? No. Here we go. Another purple to purple. Okay, so let's go ahead and hook this up to my ground and my 3 volts. Right, yep, that's my ground, my 3 volts. Oh, I got that backwards. I want the brown to be ground. Ground and 3 volts. And then I also disconnected my orange one. Back over here. Hello. Okay. And that's going to go to pin 29 on the microcontroller. All right, and then these two are going to come over here to this bad boy. And they're going to plug in to this rail. These little perf boards are kind of like breadboards, where they've got a positive and a negative rail. So I want that to be positive on that side and negative on this side. Oop, oop, oop. There we go. Yeah. And then this wire is just jumping the ground from the rail over to this set of headers so that we can have a common ground. It's kind of a mess, but this is just like my temporary breadboard. So then we take the positive and the negative from this. I guess it doesn't really matter as long as they're in the right orientation and they go on. Oh no. Yeah, it doesn't matter at all. They're just resistors. So stick those on there. And then all this other crap needs to go on to a common ground. So, like so. So those are grounded now. And then all of these freaking pins. There's so many of them. What a mess. So many buttons. All right, so yeah, all of these are going to go to either the header over here or the header that I soldered just a moment ago. Let me get these all organized. Wow, what a mess. These are all the purple ones. These are all the blue ones. Talk about spaghetti. Okay, whatever. They don't really need to be in the right order on the perf board itself. They just need to be plugged into the right section, since these are all ground. And am I missing one? No. I'm missing one of the black ones. There we go. So I got 4 and 4. So there's 4 grounds for each row of 4 buttons. I tried to do a matrix, like a little key matrix, but that didn't work with the software that I chose to use, which is GP2040CE. Mostly because I'm lazy and I didn't want to code all this software myself, especially when there's like a really good piece of software out there already. If you guys haven't seen that and you want to make like a custom gamepad, it's called GP2040CE. It's pretty cool. It'll definitely impress you if you want to have like a pre-built software stack for some like custom controllers and stuff. So that should be pretty wired up right. So now let me, I guess I can go into the other room and test that out. So let's see. Let me take a break real quick. I gotta get some water and I want to get a snack. So I'm gonna take a break for a little bit and I'll be back in probably about like, I don't know, 5-10 minutes. So if y'all want, hang out, listen to some jams, I'll turn on some cool music. Feel free to stick around and I'll be back in a little bit. Oh, good luck, another rabbit. But hey, if it destroys a $300 piece of equipment, that just gives you something to fix, right? And then you can say, I fixed a $300 piece of equipment. I guess it depends on how destroyed it is. All right. Oh my gosh. Cats are hissing at each other. Be nice. Ooh. Let's see. What do I want to do? Oh yeah, I have a computer that I want to put Linux on. Can mess with that. Um, I do need to test this. It's gonna be a machine for the lab, so that I can do stuff and show you guys with it. That's separate from the stream laptop that's in here. I don't know why, but I need to keep complicating the setup. Something about me. If the setup is not complicated enough and isn't prone to issues, then I don't want it. No. um, the simulation failed, but you made it work IRL. Yeah, computers can suck it. What do computers know anyway? They only know what we tell them, right? And I don't know anything, so if anything, I'm just misleading my computer all the time. Let's see. I also have I have this thing that I want to test and mess around with a little bit more that I haven't gotten around to, which is pretty funny. Um, this is a hidden alarm clock camera from the feds. Not really the feds, but I mean maybe the feds. Some police department that I bought some stuff from. Um, and it's basically a wireless jammer. Not intentionally, I don't think. This is something that a device that was created back in the 90s, and I don't think they intended, when the FCC certified this thing or licensed it back in the 90s, I don't think they really had in mind that people were going to be using 2.4 gigahertz so willy-nilly in the future. But also this thing is hot. It is super, super spicy. So basically whenever I turn it on, it'll jam all the Wi-Fi nearby. So I want to, it was meant to be ran with 24 volts, I think. Here's 24 volts from the actual alarm clock and from the wall. And I have extracted just the transmitter, and there's still a microphone on here. Transmitter and a microphone. I should probably take that off just so it's not transmitting fucking audio. Yeah, I think I'm gonna do that. That's a fun thing to do. I'm gonna set this to the side. I got all the soldering. I just need to go put the software on it and test it. So we can do that. Put this back up here. We'll do that later, and then I'll do this. Do most of my soldering. I want to get most of my soldering done and out of the way. I also have a Rock Band controller that I want to take apart and try to fix. Hasn't been working right. Gonna clean up a little bit. Something I never do. These buttons I want to put away. They did not actually work for what I needed them to. So let's put these away before I lose them. I should really put these in a different container. I think I have a container for these. 1 second. Probably better than these dumb plastic bags. Can't stand these bags. But I don't use these buttons super often, so I haven't had to open these yet. So what is it that you're actually doing, Another Rabbit? What is your $300 piece of equipment? I'm curious about that, if you're still in here. Oh, works better than you thought it was. It's supposed to have a 50 millisecond delay. 4.5 millisecond. Oh, that's pretty fast. At least faster than what most people would need. Analog Discovery 2. I have no idea what that is. It sounds cool. Is it like a device that lets you mess with analog signals or something? All right. Where'd that other bag go? Oh well, I'll find it. Oh, nice. That sounds pretty cool. Yeah, I feel like that would be a very expensive piece of hardware. So what I wanted to do with this, outside of just desoldering the microphone off of it, which I don't really want on there anymore, is I wanted to run it at a lower voltage and see if it was so hot, so that I can actually like test it without blowing out my Wi-Fi. Um, yeah, but let me get that microphone off of it real quick. Yeah, it sounds like a fun device. I'll have to look it up and check it out later. I like cool tools. Tools are fun. And wow, I didn't even bring in the fume extractor. I'm sitting here puffing all of this old 1990s fumes. Right, whatever. Yeah, I've never really been super good at using solder wick. I don't know. Doesn't matter. There's no microphone now. Okay, cool. Got it. Yeah. Cool. So let me get my HackRF. Look at this thing with it. And the antenna, where was the antenna? Where did I put that? Do, 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 do. I can't find that antenna. I guess I'll just grab any old Wi-Fi antenna. Doesn't really matter. Oh, there it is. It's literally sitting right in front of me. Dodoy? Alright. Wonder if this still has some juice. Alright, so Bluetooth, Wi-Fi, 2.4 gigahertz, waterfall. And I want to plug this thing up and just kind of slowly ramp up the voltage on it. Shows up, or when it starts to show up, because otherwise it just blows out my Wi-Fi and causes everything to explode. You know, I don't want the FCC knocking on my door because I have a licensed transmitter from 1990 that actually functions as a Wi-Fi jammer. So 3 volts. Should we start it at 3 volts? Sure. Yeah, 3.3 volts. I guess we'll just bring it up. Oh, I think, is that it? No? I mean, it is on. I can see the light, the LED on right there. That's 6 volts. Yeah, I think that's it right there. So it comes in pretty hot. But I don't think it's jamming at 6 volts. So I think that's pretty good. No, is that not? Okay, hold on. Where was it actually? I need to go back to it in the capture view. Yeah, hold on. Frequency was this damn thing on? Oh, solder wick pro tips. Yamaha SR200 or Yamaha PSR. Oh, is PSR a motorcycle? Sounds like a dirt bike. Lots of flux and tons of heat. Uncomfortably high temps. Yeah, I guess that's what it is I usually use my fingers and it gets hot. I don't get it hot enough. Lots of flux and tons of heat. Okay, I'll try that next time. Next time I'm trying to like clean off some pads. Um, well, I've had some house crap go on in the past month or so and some other personal life stuff, so I haven't been streaming a whole lot, but I would like to stream at least once a week. Um, just to like kind of get some stuff done, if that makes sense. Um, let's see this thing. No, no. 2. Oh God. Let's see. I need to figure out what frequency this thing was on. Let's see. All right, be right back. Let me go get my docs from my other room. That's why I want to make I'm going to set this machine up with Linux so that I can have it in the lab and make my stream setup even more complicated. Let's see. I have some files from this thing. Wish fccid.io was loading, but I think it's broken. Oh, the PSR 200 is a keyboard? Cool. Also, I want to look up that thing while I'm over here at my other workstation. Analog Discovery 2. Oh, neato. Okay. Yeah, it makes me think of uh some other logic analyzers that I've seen. I'm trying to remember the name of it, like Bus Pirate, I think. But I don't know if Bus Pirate is specifically a logic analyzer, if it's just fuzzing. I haven't really messed with it a whole lot. So what are you doing with your analog discovery too? Oh, that looks like a fun keyboard. If I was musically inclined, I would know a bit more about it, but I'm not very musically inclined. But it looks like a fun device. Alright, well, FCC ID is not loading for me, which is kind of disappointing. Here, I think I can, let's see if I can get this open. Yeah, the Hack RF is pretty fun. If I knew more about RF stuff, I could do some pretty fun stuff with it, but I'm a noob at a lot of things. I've been wanting to mess with some satellites, but I don't really have like crazy antenna setups. I need to put some stuff on my roof, or at least in the backyard. I don't know. Let's see if this is open. Yeah, I'll have to mess with that later. Okay. Just trying to get my VM to show up on stream, but that's fine. Yeah, see, that's the thing where I was saying I'm kind of a noob when it comes to RF stuff is antennas are the part that confuse me. I have a handful of antennas, but I guess I'd have to get something specifically for whatever frequency the satellite is at if you want it to be really good. I don't know. Close that. Uh, 2452.7. 2452.7. That's the frequency. Geez, that took a while. 2452.7. What? All right. 2.452.7. Oh gosh. I hate the way this enters. 2. There we go. So let's turn that off. Turn the power supply back on. This is at 3 volts, so let's crank it back up to 6. I'll see what it starts doing. So it should be, let's get the this isn't really a device that you use for 2.4 gigahertz. At least the bandwidth isn't like crazy good, but there it is. Wow. Okay, but it is also sitting right next to the antenna. So it comes on at about 9 volts. 9. Let's do 8.6. Oh goodness. 8.7 or 8.6. Yeah, 8.6 volts. So I'll write that down. Oh, hey, look, it's on in the background now. Okay. Yeah, good luck. Thanks for sticking around. Let's see. So what did I say? 8.6 volts? Close enough. So it comes on at about 8.6 volts. It's still really, really hot though. But that's also right next to the antenna. I guess I could walk into the next room. It's not blowing out the Wi-Fi. I don't think my stuff is getting disconnected. You guys tell me if my stuff is getting disconnected, but I think it's fine. So it's not jamming my Wi-Fi like it was doing at the 24 volts that they wanted to run it at. It was either 12 or 24. I have to look it up, but it was a crazy amount. So that should be fine. I wanted to figure that out. So I'm gonna crank that down. I don't want that on anymore. All right. Cool. That's done. Figured that out. This is the actual like camera portion of it, which I think is really, really funny. There's a hidden camera in here. Right here. And this plugs into this little header that they've got right there. So as far as I can tell, it's just a straight up analog transmitter. It just transmits straight analog, like analog TV signal. You can see there's like a little NTSC chip on the back, or sticker on this chip. So I think it's really just transmitting an NTSC analog signal. I have a receiver for it, like a specifically designed 2.4 gigahertz receiver, but I don't have a small analog display to pick that up with yet. So once I get that, I should be able to demonstrate how that works. So that's kind of fun. But I don't need this anymore. I figured out what I wanted to figure out with that. And we'll turn it off. Hack RF is a lot of fun though. Even just like looking at the waterfall, I think is pretty fun. Oh my gosh, all this magnet wire. Okay. And put this back. And what else did I have to do? I can test that controller. So let me since my VM is working now, let me go test that controller. That is fine. I will just do it over here. Where is my terminal? There it is. Okay, that was not in debug mode. Each of these buttons. Okay. There we go. And let's see. Go to 127.0. Wait, no. Where's the address? 192.7.1. All right, here, let's see if I can do this. Yeah, analog TV on 2.4 gigahertz. Yep, that's what that is. There's a receiver for it that I have, but I can't hook it up because I don't have a small display or an analog input that is suitable. I want like a analog to digital converter that I can hook that into or something. Capture card, essentially. Let's see if I can do this. There we go. So this is the configurator for this gamepad that I've been messing with, which is pretty cool. I really like it. It looks like everything got reset. Okay, so it is actually working though. Doo-doo-doo-doo. Which one was that? The 29th pin?29th pin. I don't know if I want to set it up as an analog stick or not. I want it to be like just kind of. And that's the thing is I don't know if this software will let me do the potentiometers the way that I want them to be. Might be this one. Because the software is meant to be for like fight sticks. And I'm using it more for like a racing panel, input panel. So total on left x-axis, percent is 35. 2 on the y-axis. I don't know what the difference between tilts is. I guess it really doesn't matter if the game doesn't care about it. What is this tilt input? Tilt input allow the user to send analog inputs from the left and the right analog joysticks that are some percent maximum. Oh, okay, that's for tilt attacks, I guess, in a fight game. Okay. Yeah, one is its own axis. Let's see. We won't do tilt. We'll do analog. Okay, so we don't have a Y pin. Just have an X pin. All right, cool. And reboot into controller mode. And let's just see what this does. Nothing, 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 nothing. Oh, I need to put it into generic device, I think. Yeah, okay. Go ahead and unplug it. Oh, it is in generic HID mode. Okay. Yes, did it not save it? Oh, I don't think I saved it. Okay, that should be fine. Reboot back into controller. Check my D message. Okay. And now let's see what this does. Nothing? Nothing, nothing, nothing. Do I need to? Wow. Bruh, stay over there, please. Nothing. Okie dokie. Yeah, I'm gonna set this later. I've got it all wired up. It's just messing with the config. That's kind of weird. Okie dokie. Okay. I wanted to take apart that Rock Band controller, so let me go grab that real quick and figure out what the heck is wrong with that, because it is not working right. Yeah, so this thing is kind of messed up. It's pretty rattly, if you can hear that. So, let's see if I can take it apart, fix it, or at least see what's wrong with it. Doo-doo. See if this bit grabs a bit better. Oh yeah, much better. Doo-doo-doo. To be honest, I have no idea how this thing is put together, so I want to just take the whammy bar out? No, I don't think so. It's quite unwieldy to have on the bench. There we go. Maybe? I don't know. Whatever. People still play Rock Band, right? I mean, I do. But do other people still play Rock Band? Or is like there a I know there are some like PC similar things, but I haven't really looked into those. Oh my gosh. Come on. Whatever. Probably want these undone too. These are probably longer. Oh, yep. These are way longer. Now are you gonna come apart? Cool. There goes that. Oh, wowee. Okay. Good God, that is gross. All right. Unplug that. Cool. And we'll set that off to the side. And I want to unplug the neck of the controller. Kind of set that off to the side. Okay. Okay. So there is the neck of the controller separated from the rest of it. Yep. Okay. There's like a Hall effect sensor. This thing goes on that. That's like super gross. Yeah, that needs to be cleaned out. Wow. Can I just take the whammy bar off? No, I don't think I can. Not without damaging it. Okay, what is making all of that noise? So, this is broken. Where did that come from? I have no idea. Is it something over here? What is that? I don't know, some sort of goop. Okay, so it looks like it's like a Hall effect sensor or something? I don't know. Oh yeah, these or I guess those are like reed switches. That would make more sense. They're not exactly Hall effect sensors, but they're magnetically induced switches. So I think these are reed switches because they're like tube-like. I want to get this out because it's freaking bothering me. There's a spring-a-thing in there. See, this just moves a pot. That's pretty simple. Are these all the same size? No. Those are different sizes, aren't they? Okay. Watch out, this spring is gonna spring a methoin. Take this last screw off and it's gonna... Look, it's already trying. Wow. Watch out. Oh, that's not too bad. Okay. Let's set that off to the side. I want to get this thing out. Can I lift it out of the pot? Is that broken? Is that pot? No, that pot's not broken, is it? The shaft on the pot is not broken? Don't tell me the shaft on the pot is broken. That would be crazy. Let's see. It's all glued in there. Oh, I think... Yeah, it's, I was talking about my controller being spaghetti. You see, it's not just my controller. Yeah, I need to set up a Discord server. I mostly just hang out on Blue Sky for socials. Um, but some people have been asking for it, and I need to set one up just so that we can kind of chat, talk about projects and stuff, which is pretty fun. Um, the only problem is I don't really want to moderate a Discord. I don't like having to moderate a Discord. All right. Okay, this I think is good. Take that out now. I'm gonna do that. Yes. Be gone, whammy bar. Ew, ew. Gross. That's gross. All right, we'll clean all of this up later. Just kind of want to get things in the right spot so that I can start testing it. All right. Ew. What are these? Are those... What the hell are those? I have no idea. Are they like buzzers? No idea what that is. Oh. It's an interesting component. Looks like a buzzer or something. So I guess I need to get some cotton swabs and start cleaning some stuff up. Gross. The board, let's look at the board really quick and see if the board has anything immediately gross about it. I think the board looks pretty good. Yeah, I don't see anything, like no obvious signs of like damage or corrosion on the board. It looks pretty good. There are probe points going to blob number 1, and there are probe points not on blob 2, but this is like a little break off. This is probably the little wireless board, like the transmitter, because that looks like an antenna trace right there. And this is probably the actual logic board for the controller. That's pretty fun. I like how it says this is for the PS3 and the Wii. Not the Xbox one though. I'm guessing that one was different. I don't know. So this is interesting. I need to clean that. I don't know if I want to take it apart to clean it or just that is funny though. That's, I guess that's what these are. These like little plastic rings are from this that has broken off. Those little posts are kind of like heat set into it, and those have broken off. So there's 1, 2, and here's the third one. All right, cool. All right, I don't want anything to fall out and get lost, so be careful with this. All right. Some gross debris. Ew. All right. So outside of cleaning it, I guess I could turn it on and probe the reed switches and see if those are still working right on the actual the doohickey. I still wonder what this plastic is from. Did this go like right here or something? No, I don't know. That could be from anything. Cool. Yeah. That's my if you look on Blue Sky, there's like a my reversing for fun account if you just want to like follow when I'm like streaming or when I post new videos. Um, I also have like a personal account on there if you find it. Good luck. But you can skeet things at me and I'll look at them on either account. So, um, yeah, let me get some Q-tips and I will try to clean some of this gnarly stuff up. Okay, got the Q-tips. And let's see. I've already got some ISO over here. That's all gross nasty flux ISO. Go rinse this out. Okie dokie. Try this out a little bit. Don't get water all over our electronics. Unless you want to fix more than just the one thing that you went in there to fix, right? And some ISO. I'm gonna clean off this thing first. It's pretty gross. And I'll probably want to just lubricate it again with some oil. Wow, what is this? Is it like soda? Is it stuck on there or something? So I'll take it all the way out. Okie dokie. I'll take it out and maybe let it soak. Da, 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 da. Wowee. Alright, so there's another potentiometer right there. It's pretty grimy. This thing, this is what's supposed to give it the steps. Like the actual notches. Like that. But wow, it's grimy. Okay. It's probably all just a bunch of soda or something. Had these controllers for years. And this thing probably just has some detents in it. So let me get this other bit. Whatever that is. I don't know why that looks like that. I don't know if that's gonna come apart like that. I get it. I don't want to break this because plastic's pretty old. Let's just try to clean it up like this. And then I guess we can, once I put it back together, I'll put some dots of glue on these little posts that no longer have their plastic that keep it together. Wow, this is really crusty. It's coming off. It just needs to soak a little bit longer and it'll come off easier. Yeah, it's not too bad. I guess maybe you can let it sit in there. What else on this is grimy, dirty? This little wiper's kind of interesting. A little wiper right here. Not sure how you're supposed to get that apart other than maybe take this little cap off, but I don't think I want to do that. So that thing itself looks relatively clean. We can clean off the pot. The pot is a little grimy. We'll have to re-lube it. I don't know if I want to really get ISO super deep in there. Just give it a quick wipe. Yeah, I don't want to have to take this thing apart. I'm not taking apart some potentiometers to re-lube them or whatever. I'm sure you could probably find these pots online and swap them out. They're not too specific, I don't think. All right, that seems pretty good. That's this cable's kind of gross. Oh, this hot snot. Gross cables. This one's attached right there. That's glued in. I don't really want to clean all of that. Just trying to figure out what's wrong with it. Okay, let me get some batteries. Get the batteries. We can test, I guess we can probe it. Let's probe it and see what it's doing. Clean that out. Are these connected properly? Hmm. Yeah, those look to be on there fine. Where does that run? That runs to over here. Which are those two connectors? I wonder if I can get a little grabby in there. That's the technical term. If not, I can just grab it from over here. Yeah, I still don't know what the hell these things are. They look like buzzers. Piezo buzzers or something. So I don't think I can get the grabbies onto the pins right here next to the board. I mean, actually, no, that kind of grabbed on. Yeah, that works. So, we'll put the soaking part up top. So I got that. And let's do the other one right next to it. Oh, nope, that just fell off. Yeah, I don't think that's a super solid connection, huh? These are not the greatest grabby things either. Okay, I think that's good. That should be good. Grab some leads. What do we need? Of course, I'm not gonna have any matching colors. That's never, that'll never happen. Just gonna mix and match colors all day long. Alright, one of those. This'll work. That one will not work. Alright, I have 3. Okay, that's all I need. It's 3. At least for now. Doo-doo. And let's get the scope on. See if I can plug these in without disconnecting them. Bruh. No! Okay. Whatever. Alright. Let's try this one. Do, 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 do. Oh, actually, I should do the other way around. I actually have colors matching. For once? For once, I have colors matching? No way. Well, they sort of match. This is a gray. Don't let it fool you. Alright. And then we need our ground. Where is our ground? Where is our ground? So here is our battery case. Battery. What is this thing? What's it run on? Three double A's. Okay. This goes in right here. Says be back. Alright. I just kind of want to set this off to the side like that. Here's your batteries. Let's see. Go ahead and get that on that. Oh, it came off. Yeah, I don't know if I can trust these. Let's see what this does. I may need to... Alright, so we can see that reed switch is still working. That one is, at least. Whee! So that's cool. Alright, let's test the other one. No, my grabby! Okay, my grabby was stuck. Alright, so the other one is right here, coming in over here. So let's go grabby that one. At least I'm pretty sure it's still working, that reed switch. It should be good. I mean, that looks good to me. Okay. So we got that plugged up now, and turn it on. That one goes from high to low. Oh, I probably have it backwards, maybe. I don't know. I don't think it matters. We can see that the signal is changing. Okay. Whoop, 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 whoop. Okie dokie. So that's cool. Those are working. Take my probes off. I said we can take my probes off. Okay. So what else do we need? What are these? I still don't know what the hell these are. What are these? These things. Anybody who knows what the hell these are? I could take that board out and look at it, but it's pretty in there. Is that like oh, you know what that is? Is that the tilt sensor? That's probably the tilt sensor, isn't it? That's probably exactly what that is. How can we figure that out? Maybe we could test it for that, huh? This is the cable. This is the cable for that one. Let's see, it's going all the way over to here. So I want to test this. I want to see if that's... Plug our power back in. And then our probes. It was this one down here, right? So let's get a grabber guy on one of these. Come on. All right, good enough. And then another one on the other one. All right, should be good enough. Okay, so my theory is correct. Should be able to do this and rotate it? Or did that connection just came off? No! Alright. that came off too. This is gonna be a pain. Yeah, I need a better way to connect that to these. Maybe I can just unplug it right there. That's probably better. And that is not a very positive connection on the little grabber boy. That is not going to work. Try to get it like this. Yeah, I think that'll work. I can just come in from the back side of the connector. Like so. Yeah, I think that works. Yeah, that should work. Cool. That's very interesting. Note to self. So this should change if I rotate it, maybe? What? Is that what I think it is? Okay. Yeah, I think that's what those are. Those are the tilt sensors for the thing. So that's kind of cool. All right. That's also working. Need to probably look at the back side of this board. And then also test this pot, because I think that was part of the problem. Because this is the tone selector. And that was kind of wigging out when we were playing. So that's going to be this dude right here. Realistically, I think I only need to connect to the bottom of the pot. Here, let's see. Take these out if I can without damaging anything. Okay, cool. That's actually pretty neat. I like that. You can come in through the back side of these connectors with your probes. So just kind of like so. I'll wiggle it in there. Yeah, so that's neat. Let's see, this pot, I think we can just probe it right here. Got our center pin, which is usually the output, and then we'll probably just need one of these, maybe? I don't know, I might need both for the, oops. Let's get our battery back over here. Oh, gotta turn it on first. And then, yep, looks like it goes up and goes down. See if we can bring that out a little bit. Yeah, so I think that pot is, oh, no, I just, huh? Oh, my lead came off, my old probe. Okay, I mean, that looked good. It was potting, it was doing pot things. So, good enough for me. Little dude goes over there. So the reed switches, that pot is working. Probe this pot. This was for the whammy bar. I think really it just needs a big old cleaning. Yeah, let me get this out of the way, and we can take this out. I'll look at the back side of that, and then I'll have to check out the neck of the guitar to see how that is. Does stuff come off? No, it just wants to be scrubbed. Wow. Okay. Yeah, it's dirty. That'll prevent your selector from moving easily. I think really it just got gummed up and that's what caused these little pins to break off on it. Rose. So dirty. Alright, I'm gonna just let it soak for a little bit more. And get some in there. And let's see. I need to test this pot. So this one is right there. Could probably just get the back side of those like I did with the other one. Let's try this. Could also just grab the legs right there. That works. That's a lot easier. No. Guess not. Just take it out. Come here. Come here, you. I mean, I did just, like, wedge it in there. So. Alright. Let's get this. Look at that. This little, spots to grab onto. And oop, knocking stuff all over the place. Plug our power back in. Of course. Falls off immediately. Come on. Grab it. Grab it. Oh. My pin fell off over here on my actual probe. So no, you are seriously not grabbing that, are you? Wow. Oh, come on. Holy crap. Alright, glue. You win this time. No? Wow, these things suck. Or I've bent them all to shreds, probably. More like. Come on. Alright, you can grab that one somewhat reliably. Let me get this in here. Trim out some of this hot snot. Get us a good grab. Hopefully not damage the cable in the process. Alright, does that work? Am I getting what I need? No? Nothing? Is this pot dead? Is this the dead one? Mayhapsably. Mayhapsably this is the dead one. Who knows? Alright, well, I may pick this up later. I'm getting kind of hungry, so I think I will probably hop off and go get some food. Hope you guys enjoyed that. Me just kind of mess around in the lab. So, but I will be back maybe later, or maybe later in the week or this weekend. Who knows? I don't know. But anyway, thanks for hanging out. Bye.